Good morning. So just finished morning live workout, 9:30 a.m, which was no floor, knee friendly, no squat, no getting up and down, 15-minute hit, more for the back of the arms, shoulders today, a little bit of boxing in between as well. But what I wanted to talk about today is something that can be frustrating sometimes if you're not seeing the results you want, but you kind of don't have the time to maybe do the things that perhaps you know you need to do. So sometimes you hear things like, you need to track your food, you need to plan your meals, and all them things will help, 100%, if you track your food. However, sometimes it can be very difficult to kind of get started with that, because if I know I've got to plan my meals, that almost puts me off doing it. Morning, Jane. That puts me off doing it because it's sometimes a bit like, well, I'll do it when I've got time. And that time never comes unless you plan it in. Same with tracking food. Sometimes I don't have time to track everything I eat, etc. like that. Now, what I want you to do with this then is consider making the steps so simple, so small that you can't fail. To the extent where doing it, you'll think it's laughable and pointless, okay? You'll think it's laughable, pointless, there's no point doing it, what's the point, it won't work. That's how easy I want you to make it. Because remember, when you're in that state, when you're in that level, when you're in that space where like everything's a chore, everything seems hard, I get it. So make it so easy that that voice in our head can't go, you can't do that because of this. Or that comforting thought comes out in terms of, well, yeah, that's why I can't do it then, because I don't have time. So what I want you to do is make it as simple as possible. So here's some scenario example. I was chatting to someone the other day. Here's what we went for. Instead of planning their whole meals for the week, which is quite overwhelming, different members of the family in the house want different things and all sorts, all she did is plan the meals she could control, which is the breakfast and the lunch. Okay, so for her, it was like, right, I'm going to plan my breakfast and lunches for the week, and I'm actually going to make them the same for 3 days in a row. And it was done. It was as easy as that. And she was able to track her calories without actually tracking everything she ate, because she just tracked 2 things and she was done. Now, I'm not saying you do that forever, but it gives you a good opportunity to see how much you're actually eating, one, and what, by eating that much, your body does. Okay? So then we're starting to build in these habits. Now, if that's still too much, I've gone down the similar routes in the past, such as, okay, today, before eating anything, I'm going to write it down. Or before eating anything, I'm going to track my food today. So before I eat it, I'm going to put it in this diary. Just to make myself more aware of what I'm doing. Even if you did that for 3 days, okay? Just to see where you're at with it. See if you notice anything. Because let's face it, that would probably take about 10 seconds before eating it. 10 seconds. And if we eat, say, 4 times a day, 3 times a day, including snacks or what, that's about 30, 40 seconds a day. And the awareness you'll get from it, the knowledge you'll get from it, is way worth 30, 40 seconds. And I'll tell you that because not getting the results you want and not knowing why is far more exhausting than spending 40 seconds, maybe for a few days, just to maybe ask for advice from someone, from me. Feel free to share it with me. If you're like, right, can you have a look at my food? This is what I eat, this is what happens. Because sometimes then you'll get maybe the simplest of answers. So for example, chatted with someone the other day and it was more around fruit. They were eating so much fruit, but not seeing it as carbs, as sugar, as calories. Nothing's free, basically. It still adds up, especially having 5, 10 a day, or getting into the habit, as I was, and I'll admit this, of having a piece of fruit every time I walked in the kitchen because one of my daughters had taken a bite out of an apple or something. I think, oh, apple, it's healthy. Interesting. Anyway, here's some. So let me know one thing that you can do today around that, which the things that you know you need to do, but maybe you're not willing to do them at the moment because they're so big tasks. So break them down. Could you just today write down everything before you eat, even on a piece of paper, on the notes pad on your phone? Or best, I love this one, 2 of the ladies are doing this at the moment. They text each other when they're going to have a snack. So snacking is their thing. Cheese and wine in the evening is their thing, okay? So they text each other when they're thinking about having it. And it's a laugh. They just get into a conversation, they end up having a laugh, and they end up actually in such a better space. And sometimes they have it together. Sometimes they just go, come on, give yourself a pep talk, keep me accountable. And yeah, some of the ladies are doing it with me right now. Every time they get that urge, they just send me a message. Get it out. Right, this is how I'm feeling right now. I think that normally my habits in my head that road that we build. So every time we do a habit, we build a long highway, big highway with no cars on it. It's a freeway, okay? Free road to drive down. It gets easier and easier to drive on it. When we try and break that habit, it's like driving on an A road in Wiltshire with potholes and everything like that. So it's not very, you'd rather go the other way. Okay, so every time you do a habit, whether good or bad, you reinforce it. So it becomes so easy to do that sometimes you don't even know you've done it. So you've got to start questioning it. That's where writing down can come in. That's why maybe putting up on a board, like the 3 to 5 biggest benefits of why you're even thinking of doing this in the first place. What are the benefits of actually getting the results that you want? Doing the things you know you need to do to get the results you want. Then all of a sudden, that 40 seconds a day that it takes to maybe write down what you eat, or ask for someone for help with it, or sit down when you eat, be more aware, becomes so much less exhausting than beating yourself up for not doing this huge, humongous task of planning the whole week, right? Whereas we need to start with one day or one meal. So start now, make it super small. Let me know what you're going to do in the comments. I'll let you know what I'm going to do today. And if you see me around and I'm not doing this, then come up to me and say, Matt, you're not doing what you said you would do. And that is to sit down when I eat today. Where we've moved house without a kitchen, it's been a bit chaotic. So I've been eating a lot on the go, and you do lose sight of how much you eat. I'm like, wow, that dark chocolate, where is it? There's a wrapper there, but there's nothing inside it. It's dark chocolate, it's healthy, still adds up. Don't enjoy it as much. So, I hope that helps. Let me know what you're going to do. If you see me eating when I'm stood up, send me a message, come up to me, and let me know. Keep your distance, but maybe just shout, hurl abuse at me. So, I hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Make it a great day, and speak soon.